Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am your friend Arman. So today we're gonna learn about the capacity to sue under the law of tort. Okay, so today's topic is capacity. Capacity to sue. Okay, so here we will learn like who can be sued and who cannot be sued under the law of tort. Okay, so like in case of the law of contract, I think you have studied about it that minor's agreement is void ab initio. A minor cannot be sued under the law of tort, law of contract. But what will happen? What will be the position of the minor when he commits a tort? Whether you can sue the minor or not. So this kind of scenario and all who are the persons who can be capable of suing and be sued. So everything we will learn today in this video. So stay tuned till the end of this video. And before I begin, to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and hit the like button if you like this video, and do not forget to share this video. And one more thing, you can follow me on Instagram. If you have any question or doubt or anything, you can directly contact me on my Instagram. Find the link on the description box. Okay, so guys, so let's start today's video. Okay, so capacity to sue. Okay, so number one we will learn number one thing is an act of the state. Okay, number one, act of the state. Act of the state. Okay, so this topic is really small. It's just that like I'll try to summarize as much as possible. Make it short. Okay, so what is an act of the state? You know, when the state commits a tort, when the on behalf of the state. Okay, on behalf of the state, suppose there is ambassador. Suppose the Indian ambassadors, okay, Indian ambassadors commits a tort in the foreign country, okay, foreign country where he is being posted, okay. Suppose so the Indian ambassador commits a tort against the foreign country, okay. Foreign country is a person, okay, person, not country exactly. Foreign country is any person, okay. So this is a civil wrong. Okay. So what will happen in that situation? What will happen? Whether the state will be responsible for the tort committed by the Indian ambassador. Okay. So this is the scenario. So in this case, no action lies. Okay. No action lies in the municipal court. In the municipal court. Municipal court. No action lies in the municipal court. So what is municipal court? Municipal court means the Indian court. Okay, all the courts which comes under the jurisdiction of India, like Supreme Court, High Court, District Court, and all that. So no court can entertain the act of the state. So this is the act of the state. Okay, so it can be like there are two situations. Okay, like it can be like suppose ambassador done voluntarily out of no order from the Indian government. He has done it by his own notion, and or like there may be certain orders from the side of the government also. Okay, and if suppose ambassador has done the act voluntarily without the knowledge of the state, but the state rectifies that act of the ambassador or act of that person, then in certain situations the Indian government will not be answerable or cannot be sued in the municipal court. Okay, so this is the immunity. Okay, this act of the state is immune under the law of tort. Okay, so there is a case law. Okay, there is a case law. After reading that case law, it will be very easy for you to understand this topic. The case law is okay. Let's understand. There are essentials. Okay, let's understand the essentials first. Essentials. So number one is that the act is done by the representative of the state. By the representative of the state. Okay. So the act must be done by the representative of the state. That is the number one. So number two is that and the act is injurious to some other state this is the essential. Okay, so number one is saying that the act is done by the representative of the state. Okay, that means that by the ambassadors or by the representative, anyone who is appointed by the government to act on behalf of the government with another country. Okay, so foreign state. So the act must be done by the representative of the state. That is the number one essential. Number two is that the act is done which is injurious to the some other state or its subjects. Okay. And number three, the act may be previously sanctioned. That means there must be a previous order or it may be subsequently rectified. After the commission of the act, the state rectified. Yes, like it is for our benefit. So we take the responsibility. So in certain situations, such person will not be cannot be sued. Okay. So this is the capacity. Okay. Like the act of the state is immune from the judicial proceeding in the municipal court. Okay. So so here is a very important case law. Okay. So case law is that Bern versus Denmark. Bern versus what happened, there was a navy, okay, captain of the navy of England, who has committed a tort, okay, and the act was not previously sanctioned, okay. The act was not previously sanctioned by the British government, but what happened after the commission of the act, that captain committed the tort against the Africans, okay, Africans, okay. So in this case, what happened? The captain navy of England who has committed the tort, and the tort was that he burned the cells of barrackins, okay, owned by the plaintiff, okay, in the coast of Africa, okay. And in the coast of Africa, beyond the jurisdiction of the England. Okay. So in this case, what happened? When he burned down the barrackins of oil of the Africans. So in that case, the act was not previously sanctioned by the British government. But what happened? The act is rectified. Sorry, the British government rectified the act of the captain of navy. That is a Bond. So in this case, he was not. The Africans was not allowed to sue the person in the municipal court. Okay, so that's what it is. I hope it is clear to you now. Number two. Corporations. Okay. So this is number two. So what is corporation? So corporation is an artificial person. I think you have studied in the jurisprudence that what is corporation. Corporation is an artificial body of human. Okay, artificial body of human. Corporation is also regarded as a person. Okay. And corporation also incurs corporation also has the right and liabilities in everything. Okay. Corporations means any company, organization, business organization, that means anything. Okay, corporation could be anything. Okay, and so since it is artificial person, but he though he do not have his mind, he do not have the mind to do certain act, but what it can do through its workers, okay, employees, okay, workers and employees. He can do the work. It can do his work by its workers or its employees, right? So that is why whatever the act is done by its worker and employer, okay, that will be always for the good or prejudice for the corporation, okay. So it always be good for this. So here if you see, okay, there is a fiduciary relation, okay. So the corporation is a master, okay. There is a vicarious liability arises, okay. The corporation is a master and the workers are the servant. So whatever the act done by the servant, the master will be held and liable for it, okay. So that is why corporation, like a normal human being, okay, like a normal human being, corporation is responsible. So corporation can be sued, or corporation can also sue anyone. Okay, so this is about the corporation, and this is a very small topic. It is very easy for you to understand. I hope you understood. If you don't, you can ask me, you can comment down, or you can ask me on Instagram. Okay. So number 3 we have minor. Okay, this is really important. Minor. So minor is very important. It's number 3. Okay. So what will happen? Okay. What will happen if the minor commits a tort? Okay. We have seen the immunity for the child in the law of tort, in the criminal law also. In the criminal law also, the crime committed by a child below 7 years. Yeah, I think section 82 is below 7 child below 7 years. So he will be completely immune from the criminal liability. Whatever the crime committed by the child who is below 7 years, so he will not be responsible under the law. Under the criminal law. Similarly, in the Indian Contract Act also we have a child cannot be sued in the court. Okay, because minors agreement. Minor when even if he with a deceitful intention enters into a contract with the deceived other, even if like such things done by the minor will be completely immune from the liability out of that contract. Okay. But what will happen in case of the tort? What happens when the minor commits a tort? Okay. So this is the situation we are learning today. So in the law of tort, the law of tort has not made any difference between the minor and major. Minor will also be held responsible like the major person. Okay, but there is a difference when your minor cannot sue. Okay, minor cannot sue. Okay, minor cannot sue directly. And there is a condition that he can sue through next friend. Okay. So if anyone commits a tort against the minor cannot directly sue that person. What he can do, he can through his next friend. Okay. Suppose I am a minor. Okay, and if someone has committed a tort against me, I cannot file a suit against that person directly. What I'll do, I'll ask my father to file a suit against that person. So that's what the next friend. Okay, that's what the next friend means. Okay, my father or anyone. Okay, where I can rely my trust upon. Okay, so this is the situation. The minor is also responsible for the tort committed by him, and minor can also sue, but through next friend only, and minor can also be sued. Okay, if I commit tort, suppose I am a minor and I commit tort to somebody else, so somebody else can sue me. Okay, for the tort committed by me. Alright, so this is the situation of the minor. Okay. But there is a situation exception. Okay, there is an exception to this rule. Minor can be sued if a minor commits a tort and that tort requires a special mental element. Okay, say for example conspiracy, malicious prosecution. So in case of the suppose it is just an example, conspiracy and malicious prosecution, where we need a malice, evil intention requires, and a child is not supposed to have evil intention or have the capacity or maturity of understanding to conspire to do certain act which will be harmful for the other person, or to do maliciously prosecute other person. Okay, so in certain situations minor will be immune from the liability in the tort. Okay, so minor will be immune from the tortious liability. Alright, so this is an exception. Okay, so here we need to just differentiate between we need to know the difference between the tort and the contract. Okay, what will happen? It's a very simple. In case of the tort, what happened? The minor is responsible for the wrong committed by him. Okay, but in case of the contract, minor is not responsible. Okay, if a minor committed a breach of contract, the party who is suffered or the plaintiff cannot file a suit against the defendant, or that is the minor who is minor. Okay, because minor's contract is void ab initio, right? So this is the main principle. Okay, and you will find the case Mohe Bibi versus Dharmadas Ghosh. So that case will learn in the law of contract paper. Okay, in our contract video will learn. So that is important. So minus agreement is always void ab initio. Okay, void from the very beginning. So that is the only difference between the tort and the contract. Alright. So liability of the parents. Now we will learn the liability of the parents. Okay. Liability of parents. Liability of parents for the wrong or the tort of child. So if a child commits a tort, okay, if a child commits a tort with a certain person, whether the parents will be held responsible for it. So that is the question. Okay, so the answer is no. If I commit a tort to someone else and I am a minor, and my father cannot be held responsible for the tort committed by me. Okay, unless there is two exception to this rule. Exception. Like there is a master-servant relation. Okay. Master-servant relation. And number two. When the father is negligent. When the father is negligent. Okay. So in these two situations, the father will be held responsible. Okay, the master-servant relationship. Let's suppose my father asked me. Okay, my father asked me to pay certain sum of money pay certain sum of money to X. Okay, X by Z anyone. Asked me to pay certain sum of money, and that money is belonging to the Mr. X. Okay, the money belongs to the Mr. X, and the money was with my father. And my father told me that, okay, take this money and go and pay to the X. Okay. So while I am going, I took the money from my father, but I did not pay the money to the Mr. X. Okay. So in certain situation, what will happen? The X, filed a suit against me, because my father told him that I send the money through my son, so you will get the money through my son only. Okay. So what happened after that? I did not pay the money to him. Okay, he complained it, or he filed a suit against me. So in that case, what will happen? My father will be held responsible, because there is a master-servant relationship. My father is a principal and I am his servant. Okay, because I am the servant of my father. Okay, so there is a relation. Okay, there is a relation between me and my father. That is a fiduciary relationship. So that is why the act committed by me will bind my father. Okay, the wrong committed by me will bind my father. So it is presumed that the act is done by my father only. Okay, so that's why my father will be held responsible in certain situations. Alright. So the next, the father, when the father is negligent. Okay, when the father is given notice that your son is doing this and that, and which is keep causing irritation to us, and just causing problem to us. Your son is so notorious. So watch out your son. So after listening or after hearing all that complaints from the many people about my son or about the son, and if the father lets his child to do whatever the things he wishes, then in certain situation, if he commits certain wrong or harms anyone, the father will be held responsible. Let's take the example. This is a case law. Okay. BU. Okay. Versus BB versus, okay, it's double E. Okay, BB versus sales. Okay. So in this case, what happened? The father has a 15-year-old child. Okay, 15-year-old child who was given an air gun. Okay, who was given an air gun, and he was playing with the air gun. Okay. So, and he was throwing that air gun to the many people, shooting that air gun with the many people, and people are getting really irritated, and the people has complained to his father many a time that stop your child, but father did not. Okay, father did not, and eventually the son caused the injury, caused the injury to the plaintiff. And then the plaintiff filed a suit against the father, and the father was held responsible because father was negligent towards his duty to his child. Okay, so this is the situation, the liability of the parents. Okay, generally father, parents is not liable, but father will be liable in the two situations: when there is a master-servant relation, or when there is a father is negligent in his duty. All right, so this is the situation. Okay. So now we need to understand. We'll see now the husband-wife relation. Okay, this is the situation, a position of minor that we have discussed already. I hope it is clear to you. And if you still have doubt, you can ask me. Okay, and so we will see the husband-wife relation. Okay, husband-wife relation. Husband-wife relation. This topic is also simple. Okay, like it is just asking. The situation is that, like, if I'm a husband and I committed a tort against my wife, or if she's let's suppose that my wife commits a tort against me, so whether I can sue my wife or another spouse, a spouse can file a suit against another spouse. So this is the situation. The answer is always no. Okay, a spouse cannot file a suit against another spouse for the wrong of tort. Okay, I'm not talking about the violence. Okay, that will be the criminal law. I'm talking about the tort only. Okay, so if a husband commits a tort against the wife and wife also did the same, so in that case situation the no suit lies. Okay, but there is a exception. The exception number one is that, like, married women's properties Act 1882. So in this case, the married woman has the right to protect his property from his husband. Okay, from her husband, she can protect her property. Okay, so guys, another situation. Okay, whether the husband will be liable for the tort of his wife. Okay, so whether the husband's liability for the tort of his wife. So whether the husband will be held liable for it. So the answer is no. Okay, answer is no. Earlier it used to be, but after the Law Reforms Act, the Law Reforms Act 1935. So after that, Law Reforms Act, the husband is not answerable or liable for the wrong committed by his tort. Okay, by his wife. Okay, merely on the ground that he has married with that person. Okay, so husband is not responsible for the tort committed this wife after the Law Reforms Act 1935. Okay, so this is the situation now. Okay, but there is an exception to it when husband and wife, working and acting as a joint tortfeasor. So in certain situation, both the both the husband and wife will be jointly liable for it. Okay, if it is joint tortfeasors. Okay, but since if they are acting in separately, then the husband is not liable for the wrong committed by his wife. Okay, so this is the situation. So now we will learn another topic, another thing, that is another capacity. Person having person having parental or quasi-parental authority. So what is it? Okay, let's understand. Okay, my father. Okay, my father beats me or inflicts unnecessary punishment in order to prevent me from doing a mischief to himself or to anyone. Okay, you know, putting a necessary punishment. Okay, necessary punishment to the child by the parents is what is always immune. The parents is always immune for that wrong committed to their son or their children. Okay, so you cannot file a suit against your father on the because he has given you a punishment. Okay, so this is what it is talking about. So parents and the person having the parental authority will always be immune from the liability on the tort. Okay, so who is quasi-parental authority? Who are those quasi-parental authority? Let's understand. I think you have read in the quasi contract, so we'll discuss about the quasi-parental. Okay, so it resembles the same like parents, but they are not the actual parents. Okay, that's what it means. Suppose when our parents send us to the school, what happened? The school teacher, our parents given the duty to the quasi parents, that is our teachers, to look after us and to see and to teach us and all that. So the rights is given to the teachers as a quasi parent. Okay, so whatever the punishment and all that given by the teachers in order to prevent the student from doing mischief or to make good to the for the better to develop the better etiquette to the student, whatever the punishment inflicted by the teachers, that can be what that is always immune from the liability. Okay, you student or neither the parents nor the student can file a suit against the teacher. The teacher is given the punishment to my child and all that. Okay, but there is a situation. Okay, like reasonable. Okay, the punishment always should be reasonable. It should not be excessive or beyond the capacity of the child. Okay, the punishment always should be moderate. Okay, moderate one. It should not be unreasonable. Okay, so just because the person has a parental or quasi-parental authority, they cannot inflict the punishment at whatever the punishment they wish to. Okay, so that is the exception. Okay, of this rule. So this is about the capacity of parent and quasi-parental authority. Okay, so now another situation: person having judicial and executive authority. The simple. Okay, it is very simple. Judicial authorities. Who are judicial authorities? Judge, magistrate, and all. Okay, and who are executive? Say for example, collector, TC, all that. Okay, so whatever the things is done by the judge, magistrate, or collector under the authority, under their authority, they cannot be questioned. Or you cannot file a suit against them. Okay, for the wrong you suffered. Okay, because they are immune from the liability. Okay, so that's what it is. It is very simple. Now we will learn independent tort feasors. Okay, one independent and joint. Okay, independent tort feasor. So who is independent tort feasor? Let's understand first. Tort feasor is a person who commits the tort. Okay, so when the tort feasor becomes the independent one. Okay, so there is a wrong. Okay, there's a tort which is being done on the plaintiff. Okay, plaintiff, and the wrong suffered by the plaintiff is caused by the two persons. Okay, A and B. Okay, A and B. Both have committed both have committed the tort, and that resulted to the single tort, and which is being suffered by the plaintiff. Okay, so they are acting independently, but the plaintiff has suffered, and because of their act, okay, because of their act, the plaintiff suffered the loss. Okay, so in that case, the both the person is what? They are, tort feasors. A is also tort feasor, and he is also tort feasor, and the wrong is suffered by the plaintiff. Okay, there is a single plaintiff but the two defendants. Okay, in certain situation we need to understand whether those defendants are joint tort feasors or the joint or independent tort feasors. Okay, so let's understand with an example. Okay, with an example when the tort feasors become the independent and joint. Okay, so there is a two driver. Okay, okay, I'm very bad at drawing. Okay. So okay, so there are two drivers. Okay, and two drivers driving the car from the opposite direction. Okay, like he is heading towards here and he is also heading towards here. Okay, and when they are driving, they collided. Okay, both the car, there is a collided, both of them got into the accident, they collided. Then what happened? They injured the plaintiff. Okay, plaintiff. Okay, and they are just independently driving. Okay, there is no relation between the both the person. Okay, so they are driving, and when they collided, what happened? They hurt the plaintiff. So in that case, the wrong suffered by the plaintiff is one. Okay, the plaintiff is one, but there is a two person who is responsible for it. Okay, but in this case, what happened? Like this, he is also a defendant, he is also a defendant, but they are independent independent tort feasors. They are not joint tort feasors. You cannot see them, they are joint tort feasors because they are acting independently. Okay, he is coming from this side and another is coming from that side. Okay, so and when they collided, the plaintiff suffered the loss. Okay, so that is why both of them are independent tort feasors. They are not joint tort feasors. Okay, so now we'll learn joint tort feasor now. So when joint tort feasor. So what is joint tort feasor? Okay, when two persons, two or more persons, intentionally, they decide or say, suppose, I, Mr. A, okay, Mr. A went to commit deceit against B. Okay, so A went to commit deceit against B, and on that deceit, C helps A, C assists A. Okay, assist A for the commission of the deceit against the B. Okay, C was the assistant of A. So here what happened? Whatever the wrong suffered by the B, both of them will be liable. But here they are not independent. Okay, they are not independent. They are joint tort feasor because there is a relation between them. He was assistant of this person. Okay, so that's why both of them will be jointly liable. Okay, so they are joint tort feasors, and jointly as well as severally. Okay, they can be jointly and severally liable. Okay, joint tort feasors. There is a case law group versus group. So in this case, what happened? A and B. Okay, there is a two person. A and B enters into the Z's premises. Okay, Z's premises. So Z premises for what? A and B enters into the Z premises to check the leakage of the gas. Okay, leakage of the gas. And what happened? Leakage of the gas, and while checking, they entered to the house premises of the Z, and what happened? And both of them, using the naked light. Okay, both of them are using naked light one by one to check the leakage. Okay, but what happened during the time of A? Okay, when he used the naked light, suppose lighter, he opened the lighter. What happened? That causes the explosion, and what happened? Due to the explosion, Jet suffered various loss. Okay, so now both of so in this case, both A and B were a joint tortfeasor, and their liability is joint as well as several. Okay, so this is what it means, that they are the joint tortfeasor. Okay, because A was assisting B and B is assisting B in order to find the escape of gas. All right. So as I have told you just now that liability of joint tortfeasor. Liability of joint tortfeasor. So liability of both the both the tortfeasor is several and joint. Several and joint. Okay, both of them will be either severally liable or jointly liable. Okay, so this is the answer. The liability of the joint tortfeasor, if the question comes, whether the liability of the joint tortfeasor, the answer should be several and joint and several. Okay, they are jointly and severally liable. So there is a situation whether the release of one joint tortfeasor will release another also. So in certain situation, what happens? The question is again, listen carefully, whether the release of one joint tortfeasor will release other person also. The answer is no. Okay. Why? Because if the tort is committed by the joint tortfeasor cannot be separated, then both of them will be held responsible, and release of one will also release another person. But in the situations when the tort is committed by in the joint person, but that can be separated, then in certain situations release of one will not amount to the release of another person. Simple. Okay. And liability of the innocent joint tortfeasor. For example, there is a many tortfeasors. Okay. Suppose there is a three tortfeasors. Okay. And what happened? One tortfeasor is an innocent one. He doesn't have any idea about it. Okay. Idea about it. The thing that they are doing it. He has no idea about it. For example, A, B, and C, and B is the innocent. Okay. B is the innocent one. And C and A told B that let's go to the C's premises. Okay, C's premises, and in order to take some fruit from their garden. Okay, take some fruit from their garden. So A, B, and C went there, and B has a belief that it is the garden of C, but the fact is it is the garden of D. Okay, it is the garden of D. So in that case, what happened? When D filed a suit against them. Okay, so since both three of them are a joint tortfeasor, so D filed a suit against them. But here B is innocent because he thought that this garden belongs to C, because he was told like that only. Alright, so in certain situation B will not be liable, but he will incur a duty. He will incur a duty to assist the D. Okay, to assist it. How happened? Who are those persons related to the wrong, and everyone. So see, B incurs the duty to assist the D. Okay, very simple. So this is what it is. So today we have discussed all about the capacities. What are the capacities, and we have also discussed about the tort feasors, joint tort feasors, and independent tort feasors, and what are their liability. So if you are watching at this time also, then thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching this video. And if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe it once again, I'm telling you, and please hit the like button. Do follow me in Instagram, and if you have any question or doubt and queries, if I could not make you understand anything, or if you have any suggestions or anything, okay, if you have any doubt or suggestion, please do let me know. And one of my viewers suggested me that there is a problem of noise, and some of my viewers also spoke about there is a problem, the video is very lengthy. So if you have any questions and doubt, I'll try to solve it, and if you have any suggestion, your suggestions are most welcome. So thank you so much once again for watching this. Have a great day. Thank you.